This is my 2003 Yamaha Zuma we use for a pit bike at the racetrack. To tie it from coming right off is the exhaust pipe. We got 2 bolts there, and right up underneath on the exhaust pipe. I guess I'm gonna have to remove it. I didn't want to, but that's the bottom of the engine, and those are the bolts that are gonna have to come off. So it shouldn't be a big deal. It's only got 1 shock absorber. It's not gonna be in the way. So when I get some of these parts off, we'll see how simple it is. It shouldn't be a big problem at all. All right, checked it out. Shouldn't be much of a job. Those 2 bolts have to come out, and the 2 bolts that I just showed that are underneath the exhaust, they were pretty easy. It's 10 millimeter. I usually like to leave my bolts on the floor, you know, so I can kick them to the next county and can't find them, but I decided it's better to put them in a bucket. That way when you kick the bucket, you lose every freaking thing that you needed, or the one special part you needed. So I always like the way people just walk up there and loosen everything up, you know, and it just pops right off with nothing. I figured I'd give that a try. That worked pretty good, don't it? I loosened it up before it all falls apart. You can do it with 1 hand, right? So anyway, that's out of the way. I'll move it a little bit to where it's not leaning on anything, and I'm sure that's gonna pop right off when I loosen up that nut. All right, so should be simple. The tire just came right off of that spline. I figured I would add this to the video because you see something important goes on here. See that little piece right there? A little washer. Not really a washer, it's a spacer, and it's a surface that helps this to slide, and it goes right there, so it maintains the clearance, but it's a hard part so it doesn't wear and dig in. That's important. Brakes look okay. I'm not much on brakes, but so here we go. Time to fix the flat. Yep. Finally got around to pulling that back tire off the Zuma. That baby is ready. Got the carburetor fixed up. It's ready to crank up, because anybody that has a motorcycle that loves engines, when the muffler's off, you got to crank it up and see what it sounds like. That's what it's all about, right? Switch on. Contact. My bad. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, there's my April right there. But that's what you have to like. If you like motorcycles, you like the engine the best. That's why we ain't having no electric motorcycles around this house. No way. The exhaust is mounted. While I had it off, I cleaned it up really good. I painted it with some high temperature paint. Got it looking nice. That way I won't rust anymore. All went together pretty. It's a very simple job. And I cleaned the rim up a little bit. Cleaned all of that. It's gonna look a lot nicer. Now the type of patch that I used, I didn't have very good success with the plug. It just kept leaking. So I bought some of these at Amazon. They were hard to find. I was not able to find them at the local automotive. So that's what I used. Just put that on there, patch the tire, and put it all back together. I'm gonna go ahead and crank the Zuma up. It's not gonna sound as loud as it did with the muffler off. And just a word of advice, don't put the 70cc head or try to soup this thing up. It's only gonna cause you problems. You'll have adjustments to make and things like that. If you wanna go fast, just get an R1. Use this thing for the way it was designed, and it'll give you a long, trouble-free life. Two kicks, but it's cold, so it's all right. I'm whipping. But you know what? It don't make a lot of noise. It don't bother the neighbors, and if you're at the racetrack, you don't wake everybody up. So I hope that helps.